the global economy is gonna crash and people are still sleeping. Sometimes I walk in a park. I've always walked in this park, so I don't expect anything extraordinary because, like always, it's the same park. Now, I walk in this park on this particular day and I see tables set, I see decorations, I see like there's gonna be fanfare around this park. So what does that tell me? Well, you guessed it right. There's about to be a party. So tables, decoration equals to party, right? Welcome to my channel. I'm Flynn, a licensed financial strategist, and I show people how to grow their money, protect their money, create generational wealth. So subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification button so you'll be the first to learn of any videos that I publish. I love one passage of the Christian scripture. This scripture was predicting a future event, and it says, when people say peace, peace, that's when suddenly they realize there's war. So today, people are saying peace, peace, aha. And you see I'm shaking my head. People are gonna realize suddenly that there's war, and people are gonna cry. Families are gonna lose their long-earned savings, and I'll be here saying, I told you so. So hey, you had better subscribe. Let me tell you why people are screaming peace, peace. Many young people my age started participating in the market in 2020. In fact, I personally know a lot of people that opened their first brokerage account in 2020. And the fact is, once we went past COVID, the economy has been on a roll. People are used to seeing market returns of over 20% a year. So now, they feel very safe. Their money is safe. I've gotten into arguments online and offline about how the right strategy is to protect your money from an incoming crash, and have been told, yeah, you're a prophet of doom and all of that, but whatever. You see, some people have been here since before the 2008 crash, and some people only got here in 2020. There's a difference in how they are positioning right now. Those before 2008 know. They have seen this before. They just know it. And those who are new here and have slapped themselves with CFA, CFP, Series 63, Series 66, which I also have, they are screaming peace, peace, peace. Warren Buffett, for example, has been here and has been at this game for a while. His company has been sitting in cash. The most cash it has sat on, over $300 billion of cash. Why would the smartest investor in the world sit on such a huge pile of cash if he isn't lurking like a cat waiting for some prey? These people that are saying peace, 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 everything is going to be fine because it has always been fine, don't know history, or they think they are immune against certain historical events. Honestly, I just think they don't know. They say the market always performs, and most people don't know this piece of history. If you open any trading chart, pull up the S&P 500, check the performance from January 2000 until January 2013, you'll discover that if you had $1,000 at the end of 13 years, 13 Earth years, without dividends, you ended up with about $998. So you lost money despite sitting in the market for 13 years. Well, I guess that's one, right? That same period saw the internet.com crash, the 2008 crisis, and the market waited a decade to bounce back. So Jon Snow, you know nothing. So the world is ripe for another global financial crisis. I'm not wishing it, but it looks like the table is set. If you see the decorations in the park and you see the tables, it means there's gonna be a party. Now the table is set and I see different kinds of tables. First, everyone has gotten over the 2000s and 2008. Most players of the time have passed. I mean, Warren Buffett is close to 100 years old. So those that knew the age of the Dragon Kingdom are no longer here. That amnesia about history creates the right atmosphere and the ambience for the reaction to happen. Well, this is not a chemistry class, but you get it. Now, the next few points I'm gonna make is critical. In fact, I love the last one particularly. First, the stock market is overvalued by a small number of AI-centric companies. I'm not about to talk down on AI. In fact, this point is important. Why? The S&P 500 is trading at over 21 times its forward earnings. What does that mean? It means that for every $1 of expected earnings, you are paying $21. So if a company makes $1, you are paying $21 for the shares of that company. So in 2008, this rose to about 25 from an average of about 15-ish. There's another metric known as the Shiller K. It takes the current S&P 500 price, divides it by the inflation-adjusted earnings over the past 10 years. Long-term average is about 17, but today, we're at about 40. During the Great Depression, it was about 30. During the dot-com bubble burst, it hit 44. 2008 crash, it was at 27. So people are pretty much paying much more than these companies are actually worth. And they have done this for a while now. Well, he prepares a table. If you know the reference, you know it. Another table that is all well prepared is the AI boom. Before you call me anti-AI or anti-technology, please do hear me out. I love AI. In fact, I think I use AI than most average people. Yeah, it's what it is. However, there's a frenzy about the next tech, and it comes with a price. It's not that AI is fake. No, it's gonna change the world. I truly believe so. Now, it's gonna do things that we have never seen before. In fact, it's already changing the world. But let's go back in history. The railroad was gonna change commerce and transportation. In fact, rightly so. I mean, we're transitioning from slow mills to rails. The technology was right, and people poured in money in the way they have poured in money today into this particular $1 trillion company recently. So what happened, right? Gravity happened. What goes up must come down. Did the railroads fail? No. But did people lose money? Yes. When these railroad companies, when most of their stocks collapsed, people just lost money. This was in the 1840s between. History repeated itself with the invention of electricity in the late 1800s. See, when there's something new, many companies spring up left, right, and center around that new talk of the town. Many companies build around whatever is the excitement of the day, and that's what happened with electricity. There was the excitement and many companies built around it. But what happened? A lot of these companies did not survive. Well, the one we talk about the most today is the dot-com crash, is the dot-com bubble. That's the advent of the internet. It was gonna change everything. We'd be able to send emails across several lands. I mean, people do it just like it's nothing, but back in the day, it was novel. You'd be able to purchase things on the internet. Unlimited information would be on the internet. Actually, let me tell you a story about one of the great beacons of the dot-com era. They were one of the most famous, and they sold this pet food online, pet.com. Game changer. And in fact, they were the poster child for speculative investing. This is the future. Put all your money in it. Like one company we know of, right? Well, they got liquidated and their peak value went from $300 million to zero. Gone like that. People lost money. Amazon is a great company today, but do you know that it lost 95% of its value during the dot-com crash? Yes, you see, you did not know that. I'm going to make another video about SpaceX and when to buy, but it rings a bell, right? So you had better subscribe and don't miss it. I would say Amazon was the SpaceX of its day. By 2000, it had approached a valuation of over $30 billion. When the bubble burst, imagine investing over $100,000 at the peak, and now you are left with just $5,000. Well, it's not only Amazon that burst, but the entire financial system. We saw the dot-com crash. Between 2000 and 2002, the Nasdaq lost 80% of its value. Just imagine you are invested in that economy and you lose 80% of your money over the span of 3 years. Over $5 trillion was wiped out of the market. Companies just disappeared. Poof, gone. That's the lifetime of a once-in-a-lifetime technological change. You see why I say the table is set for another collapse. It's making sense now. AI is changing the world, that's a fact. The way we do things will change. Robotics will integrate with AI, self-driving cars and all. However, people are throwing trillions of dollars into AI companies. People are waiting for Anthropic. People are waiting for OpenAI to IPO so that they will participate in that speculative wealth. I'm not that eager. Now you know why Warren Buffett will continue to be the wealthiest trader. I'm pretty sure it's waiting for that 95% crash that would happen to those AI companies. So it's just gonna buy in. The table is set. Now the next table is the scary one, war. I'm not convinced that the war in Iran is just over yet. In fact, I'm worried that very soon all of these little wars, Ukraine, Iran, Israel, Russia, they would combine together to form and set the right atmosphere for a global economic shock. And this global economic shock is going to take time to recover. We have seen how shutting the Strait of Hormuz, I hope I pronounced that right, impacted the whole world, and I do not put it past us to have boots on the ground. Energy prices going up, higher inflation, lower corporate profits, because now the cost of making things has gone up. In fact, what am I saying? This has even started, but you are sleeping, so you don't know it. And we are pretty much almost there. Very recently, Apple raised prices, almost 20 to 30%, if I remember right. It's all coming together, guys. People are gonna lose money. The people I really should feel sorry for are those who would be retiring soon. The market crashes on you, you lose 40% of your life savings in a single year, like in 2008. I don't think there's a coming back from that, I promise. Warren Buffett is not stupid, watching the market make all-time highs from the sidelines. But I think he's been here for a while, and I think he knows something that most people don't. Well, my advice to you is this: you should position yourself for that whirlwind that is coming. There's this story of Noah who was told to build an ark because a flood was coming. His neighbors told him, "You are building an ark in the desert. You're building a boat in the desert." Another person told him, "You have been building the same ark for 30 years. Another one shook his head and said, "Hey, you should be crazy. I think you're crazy." Another one pitied him. Another one said he's a madman. Well, Noah continued to build the ark even when it did not make sense. Yes, he finished building and people took screenshots. In fact, while he and his family were entering the ark, they took videos and posted it all over Camel Book. And people said these guys are going to shut themselves up inside of a wooden boat in the middle of a desert in dry season. Noah and his family got in and shut the door. Then the rain started. At first it was nothing, but it continued and it became knee-deep. The kids played outside. They laughed at Noah and his family. We are swimming in these lovely waters while they are locked up. But the rain continued. Now it was neck-deep, but it was too late to enter the ark. I am Noah today, and I'm asking you to enter the ark before the flood. Have you hedged your finances against market losses? The market surely always bounces back, but you don't know if it's going to take 10 years like the 2000s. This is why you need to subscribe to this channel, because it's here you learn how to hedge your finances against market losses. See you next time. Thank you.